Hi guys, welcome to Shining Tots, my alphabet song. Are you ready? So let's go. A sounds like a a a a a a a a a. A sounds like a a a. A is for apple. A is for apple. A is for apple. Next one. B sounds like b b b b b b b b b. B sounds like b b b b b b b ball. B b b b ball. So the letter is ball. B for ball. Now next one. C sounds like k k k k k k k k. C sounds like k k k k k cat. K k k k cat. C sounds like k k k k k k k cat. Next word. D sounds like d d d d d d d d d. D sounds like d d d d d d d dog. D d d d dog. D d d d dog. D sounds like d d d d d d d d d dog. Next word. E sounds like a a a a a a a a. E sounds like a a a. So the letter is elephant. So the letter is elephant. A a elephant. E sounds like a a a. So the letter is elephant. Next word. F sounds like sound like. So the letter will be fish. 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 F for fish. Next word. G sounds like g g g g g g g g g. G sounds like g g g. So the letter will be grapes. 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 G g g g grapes. So the letter will be grapes. Now let's go to hat. Hat sounds like hat sounds like so the letter will be hat. Hat. So the letter will be hat. Next word. I sound like I sound like I. So the letter will be ice cream. So the letter will be ice cream. So the letter will be ice cream. So cold and nice ice cream. Now J. J sound like j j j j j j j j j. J sound like j j j. So the letter will be juice. So the letter will be juice. J j j j juice. So cool. Now let's go to K. K sound like k k k k k k k k. K sound like k k k k k k k k. So the letter will be kite. 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 K k k k kite. Kite. Now L. L sound like L sound like so the letter will be lion. 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 So the letter will be lion. Lion. M sound like M sound like so the letter will be monkey. So the letter will be monkey. Monkey. M sound like so the letter will be monkey. Monkey. Next word. M sound like M sound like so the letter will be nest. So the letter will be nest. Nest where the bird lay egg. Nest. Now O. O sound like O sound like so the letter will be orange. So the letter will be orange. The color is only orange. So the letter will be orange. Now the next word will be P. P sound like p p p p p p p p. P sound like p p p. So the letter will be parrot. So the letter will be parrot. P p parrot. So the letter will be parrot. Now Q. Q sound like Q sound like so the letter will be queen. So the letter will be queen. 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 Now R. R will be R sound like so the letter will be rabbit, rabbit, rabbit. Cute, cute rabbit, rabbit, rabbit. R is for rabbit. Now S. S sound like S sound like so the letter will be sun, 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 sun. So the letter will be sun. Now next word will be T. T sound like t t t t t t t t. T sound like t t t. So the letter will be tiger. T t tiger. So the letter will be tiger. T t t t tiger. T t tiger. So the letter will be tiger. U sound like U sound like so the letter will be umbrella. 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 U sound like so the letter will be umbrella. Now next will be V. V sound like wa 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 wa. V sound like wa 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 wa. So the letter will be van. Wa wa van. Wa wa van. V sound like wa wa wa. So the letter will be van. W sound like wa 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 wa. W sound like wa wa wa. So the letter will be watch. Wa wa watch. Wa wa watch. Wa wa watch. W sound like w, 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 so the letter will be watch. X sound like X sound like so the letter will be xylophone. So the letter will be xylophone. X sound like so the letter will be xylophone. Y sound like y. Y sound like y. So the letter will be yak. Yak. Y sound like y. Y sound like y. So the letter will be yak. Z sound like z. Z sound like z. So the letter will be zebra. 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 So the letter will be zebra. Z is for zebra. Thank you. Like, subscribe and share. Bye. Have a nice day.